All right, for everybody who has joined, thank you for being here on time and a little bit early. I am going to leave another minute or two for some last minute people to hop on, and then we'll go ahead and get started. So please bear with me. All right, looking good, looking good. Have a good full webinar. So thank you everybody for joining. Want to introduce myself. My name is Alvin. I am the regional sales manager for J.E. Brown in the Central California region. So if you are anywhere from pretty much Fresno to Tulare, all the way up to San Francisco and some of the lower Bay area, anywhere in that region, I'm your dedicated point man at J.E. Brown. But for everybody else who doesn't fall into that geography, you have your own regional sales manager. If you're not sure who that is, feel free to chat it in or pose a question, and I'll make sure that they get in contact with you so you know who you can lean on at J.E. Brown. But we're going to go ahead and get the webinar kicked off today. Some of the typical setup for this webinar, everybody is in listen-only mode, and you are all going to be muted. That's really just to respect everybody's experience, make sure we can get through the presentation efficiently without any interruptions. I know it's Friday. I know everybody's busy today, and so let's try and be very concise here, but do definitely encourage questions. So at any time throughout this presentation and the webinar, you should be able to chat in to me and ask any questions, or there's also a question and answer portion on the dashboard that you can pose your questions. And that way we can get back to you if the answer doesn't come up in the webinar, or if you're not sure about something, you'd like some more information, feel free. We definitely encourage you to utilize that, and I'll save a little bit of time at the end to actually answer those questions. And if I don't have the answer, we'll get a follow-up sent your way from your regional sales manager. So good morning, everybody. Thanks. I see people are already chatting in, and appreciate that. What are we going to be talking about today? So today, just going to be a quick 25 minutes is the goal. It's a website walkthrough and tools for efficiency when working with J.E. Brown, and really going to cover the features, advantages, and benefits of working with J.E. Brown briefly, and then go into our website, show you some of the key areas that you're going to want to hone in on, and really what is going to be an efficient workflow for some of the risks that you're working on in Q4, and hopefully we can finish out the year strong and save you some time. So to kick it off, I want to make sure my slides are working. So some of the features of J.E. Brown, and why should you choose J.E. Brown? We understand there's a ton of wholesalers out there in so many different areas to place business and manage those relationships. So J.E. Brown, really what our focus is instead of being an outlet, for personal risks or an outlet for commercial risks, we are kind of the power strip of wholesalers. So we have close to 30 markets, constantly adding, making sure that we're providing the correct carriers for the risks that you guys are seeing in California. But it's a lot of information. And so instead of having multiple outlets, you can keep everything under one roof with J.E. Brown and always have somebody to lean on when it comes to working with us. So some of the features, online quoting and issuance, and that's something I'll show you once we can get into the demo of our website. Live customer service and a dedicated rep. Like I mentioned previously, every single one of you has a regional sales manager, and that person's your point man. That person's somebody you can lean on. That person's a resource for you and should always be available, whether it's a phone call or an email, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. We are sometimes out in the field and sometimes very busy, but we definitely do our best to be there for you. And if you can't get in contact with us, we have a full headquarters of underwriters, product specialists, agency support that's ready to help you as well. And I'll show you kind of how to get in contact with them. far as our markets, we have personal, commercial, and professional lines markets. So really, we just want to be a partner in the insurance industry for you, that whether it's like a gardener that hits your desk and you really just want to focus on more troubling accounts and you want to place it really quickly and easily, that's what J.E. Brown can do for you. Or if it's like a really tough property with some brush exposures, I know that's a lot of that stuff's going to fair plan, but we're doing our best to make sure that we can save you from going that route. And I'll show you a little bit about what our offering is going to be like. And professional lines as well. Everybody running a business and offering services really could use E&O. And as far as insurance agents, all of us are very familiar with insurance, of course, and even our own E&O that we require. We have plenty of insurance agents that quote their own E&O with us, and we place that business all day long. So I'll show you a good option for that as well. And then trainings and webinars. So just like we're offering today, we're constantly offering webinars just to make sure everybody's up to date and everything's very clear for you guys. And one-on-one trainings is really how I spend a lot of my day, and I know the other regional sales managers as well. So at any time, if you're not feeling comfortable, you have that person to go to set some time apart and go over some training. Now, the advantages of all of that is that you can work independently and when convenient and with a partner at your side. So when I say independently, I'll show you a little bit more in the demo about how you can work independently. But all of us in insurance and in sales know it's not necessarily always a 9-to-5 job. So really you have to make it convenient for you, and that's our focus with our markets. You also get faster answers and direction to the correct market, whether that's reaching out to your regional sales manager or one of the carriers by phone or a chat feature. You can typically find out whether they're going to have an appetite for that risk or if you're going to have to turn elsewhere, and J.E. Brown will help guide you in that process. We have a very wide appetite. I would say thousands of different classes we can place or different products on the personal line side. And we're very selective with our carriers. So all of our carriers, we do a very thorough vetting to make sure they're financially stable, that they offer good customer service and claim servicing. And that's very important to us. We also do support and training, not only for you, but whether you're the principal of your agency, or if you're, one of the support members, or you manage your own book of business, whatever your role is, J.E. Brown is going to be able to help. So we offer support and training regardless to make sure that everybody's comfortable with our system. Now, some of the benefits: faster coverage for your clients to secure them quickly. I know a lot of people shop insurance. Something that's very important is that turnaround time and that speed. I was working with an agent the other day, actually, who was going up against a couple of other agents and was able to churn out 3 different quotes on a commercial risk in like half an hour, present, win the client before, they start exploring other options. And so J.E. Brown, that's a big focus of ours as well. We also have very professional support staff. So when you call into our headquarters, you're going to be routed to the correct person who's going to either be a product specialist or agency support. And those people field phone calls all day long. So they're really in tune with the products and the systems, and they'll be able to get you an answer, or if not, get you to the right person who will. The one-stop shop benefit, again, so keeping everything under one umbrella, having one partner to manage that relationship, and knowing our team and who to contact for different things is very important. That's how I find the majority of my agents that are very successful with J.E. Brown. They just really hone in on keeping a relationship and making sure communication is there. So, if anything happens, I would say, to be honest, we're not perfect. So sometimes the ball gets dropped. But, that's what the support staff is there for, and the regional sales managers, to make sure, we're providing the service that you guys deserve. We also keep you guys up to date. As far as the webinars and trainings, we really hold those so that you can feel comfortable with the different products, whether it's like a home-based business or a CPL, something you maybe don't have too much information on. We'll get you up to speed and comfortable talking about those products so that ultimately you can sell those to your clients more effectively. We go ahead and walk to the website walkthrough. So this is some of the stuff we're going to be covering today: the homepage, the mega menu, brush mapping, a little bit about how your dashboard functions, and then also some submission forms. So that picture right there, I'll show you on the website as well. That's all of the carriers that we offer for the most part. And it's their logo. So it's something as a reference, but just to show you really the breadth of what we offer and what we can do. So give me 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and switch over my screen now. All right. Awesome. So you are viewing my screen. You guys should see the homepage, www.jebrown.net. And this is what it will look like immediately when you go onto our website. So I'm just going to start from the top, go and work the way down, and show you the key areas that you're going to want to focus on. So on the J.E. Brown site, you can always get to the homepage from this mega menu up top. You can click home or click on our logo. Both will get you to the same place. This mega menu, what it really is, it's kind of a roadmap of information for you guys. So whether you're working on a commercial, personal, professional, any of that, and you're looking at different states even, you can come into here, go to California, click on general liability, and it's going to bring you to a page that shows all of our carriers that offer general liability in California. If you have any questions on that carrier, you want some specific highlights, you can actually click through those as well. So for like USI, for example, if you click on that, it'll give you a small blurb, A++ rated company, superior, phenomenal customer service, and then some of the products as well. So that's the same for personal and professional. So anytime you have any questions or if you're wondering what our markets look like, come in here and poke around in our mega menu. There's also a ton of information under the services and support tab. And we do that so that if you're working later in the day and you can't get in contact with somebody because maybe our headquarters is closed, you can come in here and find the information that you need. So whether that's forms and manuals, if you're looking for product specific information, or if one of our carriers does not offer online quoting and binding, you can get the application here, fill that out and send it off to our office so we can take care of it for you. There's also registration for some of the carriers that require another step. So for example, Right Flood, it's a great product right now. They're offering the NFIP, but they've opened some different private flood options and offering great commissions. Some don't need an elevation certificate and very competitive, whether it's like Hiscox Flood, Zurich Flood, or Incline Flood. Even an excess flood product, all of those can be accessed through Right Flood now. So definitely recommend registering for that. We also offer personal umbrellas, some residential earthquake, and some personal lines products as well. You can register for those if it doesn't auto-populate into your dashboard. And then you'll also find a lot of resources in regards to like billing information, who to contact, different endorsements, and some moratorium and brush fire resources right here. So back to the homepage. That's basically our mega menu summed up. And for anybody on this call who has not accessed J.E. Brown before maybe, and maybe you're a newer agent, I do want to show you where to register. So up in the top right, you won't be able to log in yet since you haven't registered. So click on this key. It will bring you to this registration page. You're going to go ahead and say, my agency already works with J.E. Brown. Add me as a user. You're going to type in your J.E. Brown producer code. If you're not aware of what that is, reach out to your regional sales manager. They can usually source that really quickly for you. And then after that, it'll confirm, and then you'll fill out a form that will allow you credentials into our site. So that is how you add yourself as a user. But if you haven't been in a while, your email address is going to be your first step to log in. If you've forgotten your password, feel free to reset that right here and get that access going again. As far as the rest of the homepage, do have some articles, great information on like AMIG recreational products. It's one of their fastest growing lines of insurance. They're very competitive. So whether that's any types of motorcycles, collector vehicles, classic cars, electric toys and quads, ATVs, all of that stuff, any of the toys that your clients might have, or boats and yachts, jet skis, they're very competitive and they can do pretty much any size boat or yacht that I've come across, unless it's like those gigantic mega yachts, but I don't see those too often. We also have a blog here where we like to post content for you guys. strategy information, marketing materials, things that are going to help you on not just placing business, but growing your business as well. And we also have a brush fire qualification tool, which I'll get into a little bit later. If you keep scrolling down, you'll see more information. And then that area I mentioned earlier about carriers. So that's going to be our offering right there. If you ever need a reference, or if you want to check really quickly, if you've heard of a carrier and you want to see if we access them, you can just go and scroll to the bottom and check that out really quick. So I'm going to go ahead and log in now. I know I'm going pretty quick. I see some questions popping up, so feel free at any time, chat those in. All right, so just to get into the bread and butter for you guys, when you log into our site, this is what you'll see immediately, and this is your dashboard, and it is single sign-on compatible. So what that means is that once you log into J.E. Brown, you don't need another set of credentials to go into each different carrier. And that can be a lot of passwords, a lot of emails, a lot of usernames. So we try to cut that step for you guys. You log into J.E. Brown and you have immediate access. And on a lot of these, 24/7, you even have the pen, so you can go ahead and quote and then bind the policy and win those customers as quickly as possible. So what does that look like? Well, when you click on these, you're going to go directly to the quoting platform for those carriers. So for example, if I hit Next Insurance right here, commercial carrier, small to medium-sized businesses, very wide appetite, and some of the easiest quoting I've ever seen. It'll just populate their site exactly like this. So what I recommend, for example, for Next Insurance, use our appetite checker, start typing in what you're working on. If it's like a drywall guy, go ahead and type that in. Go ahead and go to the state, check the appetite, and they'll show you the products, and you can start the quote. It typically takes 5-10 minutes to get these done. You have binding authority, so you can purchase the policy right there. But that is also the case for very much of what you're seeing here. Now, we have added recently some updates. So now you can see the different products listed by the carrier. So it's another great resource if you're not sure. If you have like, hey, Corsa Construction pops up, you can quickly scan through and see, oh, AU Gold offers Corsa Constructions and KW Specialty does as well. So anytime you're not sure what that carrier offers, we have it in writing, or reach out to your regional sales manager. Now, you see portal access here. That means that these do have online quoting and binding. And unfortunately, that's not the case with all of our carriers. Some don't have that possibility, or there's some limitation there. And that's what you'll see here towards the bottom. So that's submission forms. And that means it's going to be a paper application. I know that the majority of us do prefer quoting and binding online, but unfortunately, that isn't always the case. It's not always possible. But we try to make sure that it's an easy process for you when you do need to fill out those apps. So for example, Rivington Partners right here. It's a niche market for some of the brush properties that you guys are seeing. And that's really what they do. So they focus on higher value homes in brush areas. And they actually need to be declined by American Modern due to brush specifically. That's some of their compliance with the state and their filings, is they do need that, do need to be kicked out. But for example, if you'll type in the zip code of the home, the replacement cost, let's say it's $900,000. Calculate the premium, $4,500, but that is something that typically could go to fair plan, but we're trying to save you for an admitted product and a full package. So no DIC, no wrap, nothing like that. It's a full comprehensive package for properties with brush. We'll hit continue. You might see some questions about eligibility. As long as none of that applies, then you can move forward. So nothing over 4 million or 20 acres, no protection class 9s and 10s, no rentals. They're only doing primary, secondaries, and that you do have that decline. After that, you'll see a simple upload. It's an Accord 80 submission for a lot of our carriers that are dealing with some E&S or some of the tough properties. You can attach that here and send it off. But that is what a submission form application will look like for you guys. But definitely keep in mind that we have multiple options for whatever's on your desk, and we'll make it as easy as possible. So really quickly, now that you've seen the very useful spots on our site, do want to mention, if you scroll down, you'll see active brush fire moratoriums. And at the bottom of our website, this will always be here. It's the contact information. So this is where our headquarters is located. And this is the phone number you can call. So it's 800-955-8213. And you'll always get in touch with a live person who will guide you in the right direction. Or you can feel free to chat. This is something that we added not too long ago, but we are having a ton of success. People really love this chat function. And that is not an automated response. It's a live person up in our headquarters. All right. So really quickly, I know we have a few minutes left here. Want to touch on kind of the workflow for tough property. I know everybody's dealing with tough property right now in California. The markets are hardening. It's very expensive in some areas. And so we're trying to help out as much as possible. So when something like that hits your desk, what's the best process for you to go through to find out which market's going to be eligible, who's going to be able to even look at the application, and how can you save yourself some time rather than filling out information for 15 carriers or whatever it is, and just get to the right spot. So that is something that's most easily accessed on our homepage. So remember, you can hit home, hit the logo. And I mentioned it earlier, it's this picture of brush fire. Once you're logged in, you'll have access to this. You click on that and it'll bring you to a small form. You'll fill this out. So it's going to be effective date, occupancy, home type. If there's any open claims on the property, we probably won't be able to help. So that usually will kick you out from submitting this. But if not, we are happy to take a look at the property. Is it currently uninsured or have a lapse in coverage? The dwelling limit that you're looking for, and then you can go ahead and type in the information. So the name insured and the street address. So what this is basically a small form, something that is quick and easy for you to send off to us. Our underwriter is going to do the manual work for you so that we can save you some time. They are going to check all existing active wildfire moratoriums and standing moratoriums for each of the different carriers that might be able to help with the risk. Then they're going to go into a couple different systems and they're going to plug in the address and make sure it doesn't kick us out for brush fire proximity or whatever it is. So they'll make sure it's eligible in that regard, and then they'll email you the results. They'll let you know which market is going to be able to take a look at it and where you should turn first, or if we don't have any options, they'll give you that decline and you can move on to wherever else you guys turn. We do this to save you some time and make sure it's easy. I know that right now it seems like nobody really wants to write brush. That's not the case with J.E. Brown, I would say, in a lot of areas of California. We have Rivington Partners, we have KW Specialty, and just to give you guys an idea, we're always bringing on new markets, and definitely appreciate you guys kind of staying up to date with us. We haven't announced anything yet, but we are bringing a new carrier on next week or in the following week. Hopefully we're live and can start offering quotes, and that is something I'm letting you guys all know because I definitely appreciate you hopping on the webinar. So you're the first to hear about this, and from what I've seen, it's looking good, and they can do fire lines up to 14 and protection class up to 9 in some cases. So we're really hoping that can help alleviate some of the challenges you guys are facing. And there's definitely more information on that to come. Just don't have too much firm marketing that I can offer you guys, but you are the first to hear about it from me and J.E. Brown. So definitely with the tough personal lines property, start with that brush fire qualification, let us do some of the work, kick out the different carriers that are not going to entertain it, and then we can go ahead and walk you through quoting if you're not sure. Typically, tough to place property, we're turning to KW Specialty and Rivington Partners, so that when a quote 80, you can send it off to Rivington and to KW Specialty, as well as a supplement or two if required. And then with that, we'll go to our underwriters, we'll start quoting for you and let you know what's going to be the process. As far as commercial lines go, really quickly want to sum it up for you guys. I recommend starting with USLI if you're not sure. They have a very wide appetite. You can actually click into this carrier and call this phone number directly. So 866-712-6781. Why do I recommend that as the first step? It's actually an instant phone quote service. So an underwriter at USLI is going to pick up the phone. They're going to walk you through the application, fill it out for you over the phone. They're going to usually only need 7 to 10 surface level questions. They'll let you know if they can write it or if they can't, and then they'll go through the coverages with you. At the end of that call, and on average, they take 5-10 minutes, they will send you the pre-filled app as well as a quote, and they'll send J.E. Brown a quote and make the binding very, very easy. So those are by far the quickest way to get a quote from USLI. Then if USLI can't entertain it, back into the dashboard. Other carriers to note for small to medium-sized businesses, it's going to be Next Insurance, Hiscox Now, AU Gold as well is going to be able to help with some of that. I would say contractors and things we're very strong with as well have quite a few options, whether it's the small to medium or maybe closer to the medium size. We'll turn a benchmark where their minimum premium is actually $4,000, but they look at some of the harder accounts like excavators, framing guys, solar guys, plumbers and welders and things like that. So we definitely have options. But now that we're kind of coming close to the end, I really want to stress with everybody on this call the importance of your regional sales manager. So we have so much to offer you guys, and it's so much information and so many appetite guides and different processes and things like that. That is a regional sales manager's sole purpose, is to make things easier for you guys. So all of you have one of us. We're a person to lean on and a resource. We're here to train you guys. We're here to help in any way we can. And a lot of times when I meet with people and they have like a tough risk, they won't see a carrier here that they think will fit perfectly. And so not everything is available right there. We have even more carriers on our side that we can turn to, whether it's like Westchester or CFC, Hiscox Pro, that we don't directly advertise, but we have an option to work with them. And so if you're seeing some difficulties, feel free to shoot your regional sales manager a question and say, hey, I've got this on my desk. Where should I turn? And let us help out in any way we can. So just to summarize, that is some key spots on our website. Now, I do want to go into a couple of questions really quick that I got posed here, and then I will finish up for today. So if you have any questions, do plug those in right now so I can get to some of the answers for you guys. So somebody asked, how do we know what carriers we are registered for? So as far as carriers you're registered for, if you are on your dashboard right here and you're registered for a carrier, you should see them available. In the case that you don't see something there that you're seeing on my screen, because I have access to everything, that is when you will come up here and register. So I would say if you see that it says SSO not supported right here, so Hudson, RLI, Superior Flood, CFC Insurance, I would say they're not offering too many appointments right now, but if you have any questions on that, reach out to your regional sales manager. Then that's when you'll want to register. If you're new to our site, I'd recommend as soon as possible registering for RLI and Hudson. Very competitive, very easy to work with. And RLI, you can actually bind the policy. They're going to be there for personal umbrellas, CPLs, excess CPLs as well. So, for example, if somebody's looking for a $20 million umbrella total, we'll usually place like the primary with RLI at a certain level, and then we can actually go with the excess with Hudson and offer them the limits that they're looking for. So definitely register for those. I recommend registering for Right Flood to get access to multiple, both the NFIP and private flood options. And also for GeoVera right here for residential earthquake. They just came out with a new product. It's called the Flex, and it's very customizable and inexpensive. They actually filed their rates 5% cheaper than the largest competitor. So residential earthquake is something that we're really taking off with right now and having a lot of success. So I hope that answered your question. And if you're not sure, reach out to your regional sales manager. They can always check for you. To get a question on direct bill or agency bill, so it differs between the carriers. I would say the majority of our stuff is direct billed, but there are a few especially in the non-admitted side, that are going to be agency billed. For the most part, what you see here, though, it's mostly direct billed, other than maybe AU Gold. But any specific questions on a specific carrier, that's what we're here to answer for. So feel free to reach out to us. All right. One last question. Are these markets only for high value homes, especially in brush areas? So that's a great question. I definitely appreciate you asking that. So what our brush offering is looking like, it's going to be Rivington, KW Specialty, and that new carrier I mentioned. It's actually Heritage Insurance. I saw somebody asked, who is it? So it's not just for high value homes. It's really for Rivington going to be high value homes. But in California, that really can cover like a wide range of stuff. So Rivington is 500K up to 4 million. KW Specialty is a TIV of 2 million, and they also offer DIC policies that can go up to 3 million on those TIV. And then there's going to be Heritage Insurance, who is going to go up to, I believe, 4.5 million for the coverage A. They do have a TIV, I believe, at 10 million, and their lowest, I think they're looking is at 300K. So not just for the high value homes, quite expansive actually. So anything you come across, feel free to submit it over to us. And even if it's over the 4.5 or the 4 million area, this high value homes button will actually submit that one Accord 80 out to a couple of Lloyd's products, Scottsdale, sometimes Asgard, and we can go all the way up to $25 million. So I haven't seen too much that we come across as far as coverage A that we don't have a market to submit to. Typically, they're being declined due to brush, but we're definitely working on solving that for you guys. Awesome. So I don't see any more questions. Everybody, do keep in mind you have a person at J.E. Brown to lean on. And thank you so much for your time today. I definitely appreciate everybody hopping on this call. Any last minute questions or any requests, feel free to chat those in. But for now, enjoy your weekend, and we look forward to hearing from you guys. Thank you so much.